Hi, welcome to episode 3 of Ask Thomas George. This week I'm actually at the studio. I'm down in Cornwall, which is the bottom end of the UK, working on a project / on holiday down here. But that's one of the great things about doing a lot of your work and productions on a laptop. You can pretty much do it anywhere, which is pretty cool. Obviously there's a lot of benefits of being in the studio. You get comfortable with your workflow, your system, you can have a lot of outboard gear and stuff like that. Where you're just working in the box and just using plugins, it does limit you a lot, but there's still certain things you can do. There's still a lot you can actually manage. I've actually got like a little mini portable USB controller, so I can actually use it as a MIDI controller, and it only weighs like half a kilogram, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I'll jump into the questions. So first of all is a question from Eden. Do you need more than one set of studio monitors? And I would say you don't need more than one set of studio monitors, but it is a nice thing to have. When I mix music, I generally mix it on my main monitors, then I've got a secondary pair of monitors, then I've got headphones that I use as well, second pair of headphones, and also use hi-fi, my laptop speakers, try and get just a good overall sound. But like this week, all the music I'm mixing is just on one pair of headphones, because that's all I could take down with me. And yeah, if you can get it good on one pair of headphones or one pair of speakers, it's generally going to sound good in them all, but there's a few little tweaks. But the answer to that is, yeah, if you've got a lot of disposable money and you don't mind spending, I don't know, maybe £1,000 for another pair of monitors, because some of them can be quite expensive, go ahead and do it. If not, yeah, I wouldn't break the bank. It's not essential to have several pairs of monitors. But yeah, it depends on your budget and what you've got going on really. If you haven't got much work going on, you're not actually getting paid for your work, I wouldn't actually go and spend loads of money on gear if you're not going to recuperate it back. So the next question is from Alberto, and that is sample sound on the EXS24. So what the EXS24 is, it's a sampler on Logic Pro, and it allows you to basically drag your own sounds or samples in, and you can manipulate them, you can change the pitch, that sort of thing. It's really straightforward to use, and it is really awesome when you know how to use it properly. Okay, so I've actually got Logic Pro open here. I've got a few different sounds that I've just dragged over, so I'll just play them now. So it's kind of a glass hit, maybe I think it's a wooden block, and a kind of distorted clap. And also here above I've got the EXS24. So you can just click on this button here and it's got all the different synthesizers for Logic, the default ones anyway. And here's EXS24. I go in stereo, double click here. This will open up the EXS24. Here's EXS24. There's certain stuff like tune, there's pitch, there's different waves. This controls the length of the notes, there's a cut-off, drive, that sort of thing. But to actually put your own samples in and edit them, click on the edit button here. This will bring up this keyboard here. You can close this if you want, it doesn't need to be open. And then all you do is you just drag it in. So we've got the percussion glass here, so drag it in. And you'll notice that the pitch has changed. So if you open the keyboard musical typing, or if you have your own MIDI controller, you can actually play some of this. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's not the easiest to play. But yeah, that's pitched the notes on here, so you can play. That's the notes. So say you want that sound just for a few notes, you can actually drag this little box here. Oh, there we go. So say we just want that note on a C3 to E3, that'll just have these notes. And then we're going to add another one. We're going to add this clap below it. and we're going to have the clap from the F to the B. You have to drag all the way across. They haven't made it that simple to do. It is quite a small box. There we go. Oh, yeah, it is a bit of a faff doing this, but it does sound cool. Right. F to the B, so that'll play. It's not as easy to hear, but it does play the sample pitch. Then you open up the keyboard musical typing. This isn't the right octave. So you go through until you find the octave. There we go. Yeah, there's other things as well. If you look on here, it's pitch. So if you click that, it won't pitch it. It just play the original. Then there's one shot, which will play it all the way through if you hit it. Even if you click it really quickly, so open musical typing, and let go, it plays the whole sample. So if we click one shot again, open musical typing. So when you let go of the note, it stops. Then there's reverse, which is pretty cool. And you can have reverse and one shot. This is the kind of stuff that I like. Open musical typing. Okay. If we hit this X here, it asks you if you want to save it. So you can save it, demo sample for now. And that's basically how you actually sample the XS24. There's loads of stuff as well, like the cutoff and the drive you can play around with. There's resonance as well. But just, yeah. Sustain. Yeah, just the best thing is just go through and play around with it and try and be creative as well. Don't just sample other people's music and completely rip it off. If you're sampling, it's fine as long as you put your own creative spin on it. Okay, the next question is from Antonio. Arrangement and automation tips. Okay, for arrangement, what I usually do is I make one big long song with loads of different parts. Sometimes it's 10-15 minutes long, and then I sit back. I might have a break for 10 minutes, maybe a whole day from that piece of music, and I'll come back and I'll just listen back to it, and I just realise, well, I think I'd realise what I think is good and bad, and then if I don't like it in a split decision, I delete it. So if I hear it, I don't think it's any good, it's gone. And then I've got, say, maybe a third of it I actually like. They'll rearrange the entire song again, just around the parts that I actually like. I do think, yeah, a lot of time you can start writing a song, and you know deep down inside that it's shit, but you just feel like you need to carry on and push on. I don't want to do that. If I don't like a part of my song, I delete it and it's gone forever. I'd say don't be afraid to delete your music. If you know it's not very good, don't continue doing it and delete it and rearrange around that. Then come back again. This is what I do when I come back again, listen to it again and see if there's any part that needs changing again and rearrange it around that. And then I'll normally put on a lead instrument, which is generally vocals. I normally sing it in myself quite badly because I'm not really a singer. And then I get a singer to come in and work with me, and then we kind of rearrange it all again just around the vocals, because I really think if it's a vocal-led song, you need to rearrange it all around the vocals. You want a listener to hear every single lyric clearly, and yeah, that's basically it. So I'd write a huge piece of music instrumentally, rearrange it again, probably rearrange it once more after that, sing the vocals in myself, get another singer in, rearrange it around them, and then a few extra tweaks, and that's when I start mixing. For automation, I would say try and make it sound like it's live, and try not to copy and paste the automation too much. So if you keep on having the same keyboard swoop or the same filter, change it around every time, make sure it's not identical, and that way it make it sound like it's played live, even if it's electronic music, just to kind of mix it up. Because yeah, obviously a lot of dance music is meant to be repetitive, but there's still a lot of little sneaky tricks in there. If you listen back carefully, you'll hear, well, a lot of the more successful artists and tracks, it has a lot of intricate automations in there as well. So just go through and put little tweaks, change little things delicately, and try not to copy and paste too much or your listeners will get bored. Okay, so Julio, what do you feel the fine line between a good song and a great song is? That's quite hard to answer, really. I guess if you hear a great song, it just makes you let go. I guess it makes you feel like you've escaped. And there's the big test: if your hairs on your arms stick up, you know it's a good song. There's very few artists or songs that have done that for me. There's people like Jeff Buckley, Radiohead, Peter Darling. I hear these guys, I'm like, whoa, I'm blown away. And you just feel like you've fallen into a different world, I guess. Real escapism is what I would say the difference between a good song and a great song is. I guess with a good song, I analyse and critique all the parts and the elements of the song, but a great song, I'm just lost in, true escapism is what makes an amazing song, but it's quite hard to find for me anyway. But music is really subjective. What I think is amazing, you might think is terrible, and vice versa. It just depends on what you're used to, how your brains formed, I guess. Different triggers, different emotions. That no two people are the same. So yeah, but I would say if you think it's great, if you've written a piece of music you think it's great and other people hate it, who cares, as long as you think it's great. Okay, Sandkelp, if I've pronounced that right. Basics of vocals, layering, plugins to enhance vocals. I would say normally I'd get the singer to sing as much as they can, harmonised, and I get them to do it more than once in case one part's not quite right. And then I normally go through the track and I'll chop it out and just have like the nice juicy bits where I think a harmony would be great. And also try and get them to be more expressive and experimental as well. Don't just stick with a fifth or a fourth. Try something that you wouldn't really expect. A lot of the time I'll get the keyboard out, or I'll jump on the piano and I'll play then what I have in my head, and then we kind of think of a new idea based around that. And also let the singer be creative and put their own ideas out there, because if you just box them in and tell them this is what you play like this, they do get kind of pissed off with you. They will get quite annoyed if you just tell them exactly what to do. Just tell them this is the kind of idea I've got, but if you feel like you want to change it, feel free. Plugins, there's a great one called Sound Shifter for waves. So if you can't get the singer to hit the harmony, you can always put the harmony with Sound Shifter. There's also Melodyne, which obviously pitches the vocals. So if they haven't quite hit the note, you can auto-tune it with Melodyne. There's also Logic Flex Pitch, where you can go through and flex the pitch, which is pretty cool. There's also Waves Doubler, which makes it sound like there's 2 or 4 different voices. That one's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, they're kind of the main ones. Obviously there's compressor and EQ, but try and be experimental, I'd say, when you're mixing your vocals. Don't try and just stick with the same thing over and over again, or your music's just going to sound the same all the time. Try new ideas. The great thing about DAWs or digital audio workstations is if you make a mistake, you can undo it. Just hit Apple Z or Control Z and try something else. So it's not like we're on tape anymore. If you made a mistake, that's going to cost you loads of money to get a new reel in and get new tape. And yeah, if you just do it on your laptop, just experiment. It doesn't really matter if you get it wrong. It's always great to make a few mistakes anyway. You can learn from them. Okay, next question is Simon, how sound works. Well, I guess sound is just vibrations in the air, sound waves. I can't really explain how it works. I'm not really a physicist. Yeah, sound is noise, I guess, is the only way I can really answer that. If anyone can answer Simon's question, how sound works, it'd be great. I'd like to know as well, as I don't really know too much about physics and actual physics of sound and sound waves. Yeah, I'm sure someone who's an expert in physics could answer that really well. Okay, Benjamin, make beats sound live. Well, the easiest way to answer that is to use a drummer and to actually get them to play it in live. There is other things as well. What I've actually done before is you can make your own sample pack, so you can make your own hits. So you could spend a day, mic up a drum kit, and you could hit all different velocities. So you could have a quiet snare, a medium snare, snare roll, louder snare, same with the toms, same with the crash, same with the ride, same with the kick drum, same with the hi-hat, and any other ones as well. I remember I actually sampled the gongs. I've got that in the sample pack. And there's a big timpani, a big orchestral drums, I've got them sampled as well. Or various different percussions as well, like congas, bongos. So yeah, try and make your own sample pack if you can. It is, yeah, a lot of hard work, but it is really great. And you get your own drum sound when you do your own beats as well, so you're not just sampling, I don't know, deadmau5's drums or any other kind of sample pack drums or Vengeance. You've actually got your own sample pack, which is really cool, and it has your own little sound. Another thing you could do is Logic. I've got Drummer, which is basically, it's an instrument on Logic, but it's a drummer or several different drummers that have played several different beats, and you can actually easily manipulate it to make your own drum grooves and patterns and mix them all together and mash up. That one's pretty cool. So if you don't have access to a studio and you can't record a drum kit and you've got Logic, have a play around with the drummer feature. Next one is Oliver, soundproofing on a budget. Well, to soundproof properly, what you need to do is actually build a room inside a room. But that is, yeah, it's quite costly really. On a budget, stuff like egg boxes on the wall. Sounds pretty cheesy, but it does work. If you've got a window, put up heavy curtains there. You can actually hang blankets. You want to make sure that no sound travels through any air. So if there's a door, you want the door completely sealed up. So maybe hang up a big blanket over it and put tape around the blanket. You could also put a mattress in front of the door. Thick carpets on the floor. If you live in an apartment, make sure there's a big rug or a carpet. That kind of thing really. You can get like professional soundproofing items, but they are quite expensive. So if you're on the budget, I'd say get loads of heavy blankets and hang them up and get a big thick rug. I think that'll work quite well. Yeah. Right, that's it for today. If you've got any comments, please put them below the video. If you'd like me to answer a question for next week's Ask Thomas George, please stick them below the video as well. If you've got any feedback, feel free to message me and I'll try and get back to you. Until next time.